I can give you an example of the dialectical contradiction about two processes, coexisting processes, which logically should not exist at the same time, but they do exist at the same time. Only together they defined some process which cannot exist without them. And there are three things: birth, life, death. Can birth and death coexist in life at the same time? No. When there is birth, there is no death. When there is death, there is no birth. So, right? This is an example of formal logic. Formally, the birth and the death are mutually exclusive. They cannot coexist, right? But dialectically, they do coexist, and they define life. If we look at birth and death as not as oppositions, but as dialectical opposites, it gives us a very interesting way of thinking. Death is not the opposition of life. Death is the opposition of birth, right? Life and death as two opposites. No, birth and death are two opposites. And they both together, they create life. Every moment, every single moment, the organism creates new living cells. And some cells are appearing in the process of birth. At the same time, some old cells are dying. They are in a permanent process of death. The birth is not the act, it's a process which goes across all life. And death is a process of permanent dying of your body in the process of life. So death and birth are the processes, not the acts. And they coexist during life. This is the example of how we can use dialectics to analyze the process. And you see that death and birth are processes. So they are contradictory processes. The same logic Vygotsky tried to apply to psychological development.